welcome back to the golf studio, Brett.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. And welcome to Brett Rhodes and Frank Coombs here, doing lesson 4 of the PGA Apprentice Level 3 teaching project. We're here in the golf studio working on, this is our final lesson here in the studio. So far we've worked on some distance wedges, we looked at your lie angles a little bit, worked quite a bit on the mental game, motor imagery, visual imagery, talked about some transfer learning and things like that. For this 4th lesson and the final lesson in the studio, what we're going to do is do some review on a lot of the things that we've already looked at, and we're going to basically use this as a preparation for our on-course lesson. Okay, so our next lesson is actually going to be a playing lesson on the actual golf course, and one of the things I want to prepare you for there is we're going to focus a lot on your mental game. You have an amazing golf swing, so we're not going to do too much with your actual swing itself, but we're going to try to work within what you're already doing and try to get optimum outcomes, you know, with what you're doing, rather than try to, you know, change your backswing, change your swing plane, things like that. I know we've all been through millions of swing changes. We're going to kind of go with what we know, and we're going to really try to get the most out of it, right? Try to kind of stick to the program and kind of just do a little, maybe some maintenance. Look at your alignment a little bit, but we're going to focus primarily on doing a review on the mental aspects of the game, and let's look at your distance wedges, some scoring stuff. Look how you're spinning the driver. I know you may have got some new clubs since the last time I've seen you, so we'll just kind of look, see how you're hitting those, get a feel for some of your carry distances and that. Is there anything you wanted to work on today? Anything you wanted me to talk about?
Definitely alignment.
Alignment?
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like I'm not hitting that draw like I used to.
Really?
So I'm just hitting everything outright.
Interesting.
So
As long as I've known you, I've never.
I need to start aiming. I feel left because every time I'm.
You said that before in one of our lessons.
Yeah, I feel like I'm aimed way over here because I'm going to hook it and I end up just hitting it straight.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm excited.
Positions.
Let's get you figured out. This is going to be a fun one. Interesting. So what's the primary ball flight now that you're seeing?
Well, I got new shafts in my irons, so they're going a little higher and not so bory, but just kind of shooting up high. But I'm just blocking everything. I need to make sure everything's squared to the target rather than being out here, you know, for my draw. Just hitting everything straight, maybe with a slight draw, but
okay. All right, so let's get.
You want me to hit first?
Let's hit something solid, maybe a 9-iron pitch and wedge. What do you have there?
54.
That's fine.
54.
I just want to see some solid contact. And feel free to take me through the process that's going on in your mind and everything as we do this.
I really need to get more comfortable standing behind the ball, taking the target, and then really trying to get my face and everything aligned first. Because I tend to get up there and then, you know, I'm like this, and then I try to get my club face square, and my body's, you know,
You're shuffling
out here.
bit.
I feel like I'm just not in the right position. So I just need to feel like when I get up there, that putting it right on that white line right there, and really getting, you know, my whole body aligned with that.
I like that. Let's move that ball back just a hair so it'll be in the green.
Oh.
Ball positions.
Where am I aiming?
Your shoulder line's open, foot line slightly open. Says the man that struggles with alignment issues. Good shot.
I still feel like it's uncomfortable every ball.
You look like it. So let's talk a little bit about kind of like, so one thing, I see a lot of shuffling going on. Other things I'm seeing, you look different. Your body is different. You've been working out,
Yeah.
clearly. That might be why you're feeling different, right? Like
Yeah.
mood is actually a really important thing in the spectrum of mental imagery, you know, executing and things like that. So like you feel different, it looks
Yeah.
like to me. And almost like a player who's a little rusty. Have you been practicing?
I've been pretty busy at work, so
Well, hey, that's totally understandable. I appreciate the
I
honesty.
haven't been
I definitely
out
appreciate
there
the
grinding
honesty.
on the range or
Okay.
anything.
No, that's all right. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, and it might just be that you're feeling a little rusty right now.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, and I would say alignment is a great thing to work on when you haven't been practicing a lot lately. And you know, we all watch the warm-ups of the PGA Tour. Everybody's got an alignment rod on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I think all of us in our own right tend to overlook alignment. You know, it's so
It's
important.
huge. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, if I'm aimed just a little right, and I feel like I'm going to draw it in there and I don't, I miss the green.
Right.
I'd rather just play for the center of the green and have a putt
Yep.
rather than miss the green.
Mhm.
Chip.
So we'll say with some of our rules with alignment, we want our feet, our foot line, our hip line, the pelvis, the shoulders, the torso, all those things to be pointing in the same direction.
Yeah.
Whether you like to have a little open stance, like Lee Trevino or somebody like that, or you want to be a little more square or even closed, I think you can find great players who have done all those things.
Yeah.
Is that thin?
Yeah, a little bit. I felt like I lost a little balance there. Yeah.
Okay.
That's, you work on balance control too.
Yeah.
Like from falling off the shot.
Yeah.
Hitting drive.
Yeah.
You know?
Is the weight on the balls of your feet, and then kind of moving back to the heels a
Yeah.
little bit?
Yeah.
It
I need
kind
to
of looks
be
that way to me.
More on my toes.
Was that solid?
Yeah.
That sounded good.
And I just feel like I'm
Slight
still
right.
aimed
Yeah.
that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I tend to do that a lot with wedges too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got a nice little 120 yard shot, miss the green to the right. It's like I can't get myself aimed. I mean, I could be like this and probably miss the green to the right somehow.
Let me see this wedge. Let's throw some fiducials on the club face so we can see what the path is and the face angle and all that.
But I mean, I tend to, you know, hit a little more draw with longer irons maybe. My 7 down, 7, 8, 9 pitching wedges are usually pretty straight and I'm not hitting big sweeping draws with it. But as I get to like 6, 5, 4, I'll see a little more of a draw.
More than what you like?
Yeah. So I mean, and you can see here, I don't know, I guess it's not, I'm not aligned to that, but it goes out to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was no draw. But
Yeah, face to target was 2.5
Yeah.
open. Base to path was 0.6 open. Spin axis to the right, 3.7 degrees.
So that could be too. Why on shoot it out to the right a little bit. So let me try something here.
Look at your alignment on this last one. It looked to me like, I blocked the camera. Sorry. Looked to me like you were open.
Open.
Yeah.
My body.
Your body looked open to me. But
Okay.
you know, I think looking at what's our goal with this club, you know, it's a wedge. We're not really trying to hook it, I don't
No.
think, necessarily.
No, I want to hit it straight, right at the target. So. That's a little better.
Yeah.
Still a little
In-
open, it looks like.
Little inside out. Face was close to the path 3 degrees.
Okay.
Close to the target 1.3 degrees.
Okay.
So just a hair from the inside and a hair closed to the target. Pretty good there. 7 degrees down. You're going down after it pretty good there.
Mm-hmm.
Has your ball ground contact been good? It usually is.
For the most part.
I've never really seen you struggle with ball ground contact. Okay, good. So let's move on to, unless you want to keep hitting this club,
No, that's fine.
let's move through the bag a little bit. I don't see any big issues with this.
What are you wanting? 8?
Yeah, that's good. You got any dots on it?
No. No throwing on there.
Let's throw one on there. We'll just look at your path a little bit.
Just one.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe if you're gonna move the target at all. Maybe
Yeah.
170.
70.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Let's see what one.
Yeah, that was toad.
So definitely swinging from the inside there.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're releasing the club face?
Not
Because
as
I'm
much.
not seeing the same action that I remember seeing last time we were in here, just in
Not
terms of releasing.
Not as much, I
Okay.
guess.
You think that has something to do with the work you've been doing in the gym? Maybe not.
Well, I mean, I did do chest this morning, so
Did you do chest this
I
morning?
could have.
Yeah.
I could have done something a little bit, but I don't know. I don't feel as comfortable over the ball.
Okay.
You know. Probably because I haven't been, hitting it too hard, but playing as much as I should. But let me hit one more here.
Nice. So part of it in my mind, what I'm seeing is same path there,
Yeah,
but you release the face,
yeah.
and the ball came around.
See the draw. I
The
mean,
draw.
that's why I'm used to aiming way out here and then hitting a sweeping draw.
Right.
Or I just gotten so used to it. But and I feel like I get here
Mm-hmm.
and my next move is like a drop.
Yeah,
here,
I
and I'm
see
like
what I
dropping
see
it rather
is-
than,
Is I see the club shallow out
yeah.
a lot,
I need
and
to be more.
you bring it from the inside. I like that. I don't think I would change a lot about that move. I think it's a kind of become an instinctive thing for you,
Yeah.
and I think you work with it. I think you play it. I mean, I like a lot of the natural qualities about your golf swing rather than, making an overhaul
Yeah.
at this point. I mean, I think you need to just continue to work within it, play the draw,
Yeah.
release the club, and continue to work on things like alignment. So ideally, from a perspective of like what goal setting, like what are we trying to do here? Like what's in your mind, if you could paint the perfect picture of what the ball's doing, where would it start, where would it finish here?
I mean, start somewhere like that.
Okay.
Not as big, and then right there. So
Okay.
it's a select draw.
Okay. All right. So let's get back to where we were during our last lesson and get right back into visual imagery,
Yeah.
right? And so stand back behind it, and I want you to really commit to.
So pretty much right on the same path as that one was, but
Good.
with not as much draw.
Okay. Not so much bend in it.
Yeah.
Okay. But you executed what you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Something
So-
like that right there.
So if, as your coach, if I was to like try to motivate you, maybe challenge you to go one step more, okay, same thing. Let's start it in that same place. Can you finish with the ball on the right hand side of the hole? Still draw it. Still start on the right, but keep the ball. So like your miss hit might be 10 feet right,
Yeah.
and we'd be good with that.
Yeah.
Little ground first.
A little heavy.
You finished where we wanted on the
Yeah.
right hand side of the hole. So far, you've done everything to the tee, right? Now,
Yeah.
when you first got in, what I saw was a player who wasn't quite sure the way they wanted to stand, wasn't quite sure what the ball, where it was going to start, maybe even, right? But in your mind, what you've done is created a clear picture of what you want to happen, right?
Yeah.
And you are as good as anybody I've ever seen at executing that. So having a plan is step one, and working the plan and, sticking to it
Yeah.
and doing maintenance on it, those are all the steps that come after.
Yeah.
You can't just get out there and work and not know which direction you're trying to work in.
Yeah. Maybe one more.
Okay.
Iron. I'll switch to like 6.
Okay. So you got to give yourself at least one thumb up on that one.
At least I'm hitting the green.
You're on the green, you're putting for birdie. I mean,
I just
distance control was just about right. I mean,
yeah. I just didn't get all the way through it.
a lot of guys are going to pick on themselves for a shot like that.
Yeah.
And I got to say, you need to probably say that's a good miss.
Yeah.
That's actually what we're trying to do.
Six iron.
Yeah, let's move to the 6-iron and let's do some motor imagery.
But
Right? Let's change the game a little bit. So instead of thinking visually, which is actually, in my opinion, probably one of the better ways to control outcomes, is to really focus on what the ball's doing and get it where you want it to go. But everybody's a little different in what they like, and
yeah.
learning more about yourself. And I don't think you're going to learn it all in one day, but learning, how your brain works and how you can get the most out of what you're doing, right? Out of your golf swing,
Yeah.
how to get the the best outcomes. And a lot of that is going to revolve around your mood, right?
Yeah.
So what you feel is actually important. Your feelings can change. There's nothing wrong with that. So what are you feeling right now? Like, what are you working on? What's your swing thought right now?
I just feel like I want to try to stay, calm over it, and then, take a deep breath and just really try not to hold anything in, just release before I hit.
Okay.
So
I like it. That's great.
I don't want to be sitting there holding my breath during a shot,
Okay.
tensing up. So try to just, get relaxed every ball and
Okay,
take a deep breath out.
So when you do that now, I want you to stand back here, and you're not going to move any body parts. You're not going to actually physically move any of your muscles. And you're going to feel it's going to take a similar amount of time as it would take when you're standing over the ball.
Yeah.
But take yourself through that process, execute it well, and once you've done that, walk up and hit, right? And actually go through the process. Right? But when you're doing your motor imagery, you're not moving any muscles. You're doing it all internally in your brain.
You want to move it to like 190?
Yeah.
Maybe? Alright. Didn't release it.
Okay.
Left the face open. Just
Okay, so let's do some motor imagery where we release. Okay?
yeah. So
I want you to, in your mind, feel like you're releasing the club and feel what it feels for you to really let the face go, right? And
yeah.
impressive.
There we go.
Very impressive.
That was a little better.
Yeah, I would say so.
And I mean, that's still, I put it right on the line, but
Yeah.
maybe see if I can try to just keep it on the right side of that line sometime.
Yeah, and I'm cool with that.
I mean,
like,
that,
I don't know if we need to get overly, that ball might have landed in the hole. You know what I mean? Like, it was like that close. So, at some point, so Harvey Penick he's a great teacher. He said, perfect is the enemy of good.
yeah.
Okay, so, don't feel like you need to change that. You can repeat that. That's
Yeah.
okay. You don't need to get overly caught up in making change, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Right? You can give yourself the credit that you deserve for making a good shot, and you can try to continue the process and say, let's do maintenance on it, see if you can do it
Yeah.
again.
Alright.
Rather than change anything here. Motor imagery on release, and step up and knock it out.
Didn't release it.
Okay.
Didn't get the full release
Okay.
anyway. And I don't know, maybe it wasn't hips firing all the way,
Okay.
or what, but I just didn't get all the way through it. I want to aim it right in between those two balls right there,
Okay.
on the left side.
I'll watch you.
So let's see if that's where we're starting the ball out.
Pretty good shot from 190 yards away.
I'll take that. And that, I mean, my
Obviously,
angle was
Obviously, not your best possible outcome. Go ahead. Sorry.
The thing I felt there though is I felt like I was standing closer.
Okay.
So like I feel like the more I get away from the ball, the more I drop it inside and hook it. And then
Okay.
when I'm like really right on top of the ball, I feel like I can really control the
You're
right
you
here
get a
rather
little more
than
straight.
drop
little
it. Yeah.
straight.
So try it again. I'm gonna try to aim those two balls. There.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good miss, but
Okay.
a little thin.
I like good misses. Hey, that's almost as good as a good one.
A little thin.
So gather yourself from a perspective mentally, right? Like, collect yourself. Let's get back to imagery, breathing.
Yeah.
Okay, really see if you can kind of put yourself on the golf course here with a par 3 that's 190, right?
Yeah.
Good. Nice. Good. So you had a slight miscue on the previous, but it worked out pretty good. On this one, you really gathered yourself well, I thought, and you put a really quality strike on it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
How did you feel about it?
I hit it really, really solid.
Good. So I
I'm
think,
happy with it.
yeah, going through the process of, you know, when things get a little bit like, oh, I didn't hit a shot quite right, or, you know, the outcome on this one wasn't quite the outcome I was looking for. It's easy to look at your processes and try to say, let's do something different. But sometimes if you just say, let's commit ourselves to calm, logical, positive thinking,
Yeah.
collective,
Yeah.
like deep breathing all the way in, all the way out, and just let yourself do what you know you are capable of doing, rather than try to reinvent anything.
Yeah.
You know, is going with what you know to be solid laws, solid principles in the golf game. You know, just like you said, alignment in and of itself. I mean, you can just work on stuff like that. You don't have to constantly be trying to say, oh, let's do this, let's do
Yeah.
that. Just dance with the girl that you bring to the dance, man. I like it.
Right.
Let's
Little
do it
more.
again. See if you can get this one close. So what was going through your head during that swing? I'm curious.
I was
Let
trying
me
to-
in.
I was trying to get a good, breath in, and maybe I was thinking too much about breathing. And,
Yeah.
And getting that last breath out before I hit.
Okay.
Maybe I need to,
Motor imagery.
yeah,
Okay.
get a little more of a good view of what I want.
Visual imagery.
Yeah, visual.
Okay.
When
that's a
I'm
good
thinking
picture.
too much, I get to. It's like someone asks you, "Do you breathe in your vax? Do you
Yeah,
breathe out."
That's a
breathe
lot
in?"
to think
It's
about.
like,
Yeah, that's a lot to think about.
I'm like,
I
well,
agree.
I don't really think about that, but I need to maybe paint a picture.
Okay.
I'm
Let's do
really
that.
good with visual, seeing, and doing. So let me make
I
sure
love
here.
I love it. I think you are learning about yourself right now
Yeah.
as we speak. Yeah, this is good.
I felt like I got in.
Sounded better.
Yeah, good contact. I just felt like I got here and kind of
Little full hook.
Yeah, almost like a flip.
Really. A little left and
Like I
long.
I got quick with it. Do one more.
Okay. I can do this all day.
Alright, let's do one more. I'm gonna do this one. Like hit this one back.
Very nice.
Alright.
High five.
I'll take that.
Nice job.
Um,
That was awesome. Ball speed
That one I felt-
126.
And another thing and that's perfect. That's how if I would paint it, that's the the perfect picture I would paint right there.
Okay.
But and I feel like too, when I get too quick,
Mm-hmm.
like I'll catch myself speeding through something, and I get there and I'm like real quick,
Yeah.
and I start. But if I take a deep breath and just concentrate on slower on the way back,
Right.
and then really firing,
Okay.
I can get a little more consistent.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, just looking at like, okay, look at this segment of maybe like your last like 6 or 7 shots in here,
Yeah.
right? So you got like, I think you probably started hitting 6-iron right about there. I think these were your
Yeah.
8-iron. So
yeah.
you
this
know,
is probably-
125, 127, then all of a sudden you jump up to 129, and then the previous swing, which you
Yeah.
said you felt like you just flipped it, you
Yeah.
were quick and all
Quick.
that. That was
quick.
quickest.
Quickest.
That was like your ball speed was hot right there, and the swing that you pretty much liked the most was in
126.
between the slower and the faster ones.
Yeah, so I just
You know?
need to slow it down and then release. But
The swing within yourself is maybe something to think like, it's
all right, what are we going with now?
let's hit the driver.
Driver.
Yeah.
Rick, you want to put any stickers on it?
Yeah.
Been hitting this thing good.
Nice. I actually was just in Carlsbad with one of the guys who does like a lot of the fittings for like Ricky and his friends and stuff.
Yeah.
And this dude had a lot to say about this driver. That was like a lot of really good stuff. We were talking a little bit about the twist face
Mm-hmm.
with TaylorMade, and basically what he said, Cobra has had twist face technology for like 6 years. They just haven't called it twist face.
Yeah.
And what they've done with it is they actually have it on the inside of the face. I don't know, this dude was like a mad scientist, so he was saying
Wow.
some stuff that was like a little over my head, but
Yeah.
he said basically like it's the curvature on the inside part of the face
Yeah.
where they've been doing it as opposed to on the outside, but
in with the middle.
And he said the tour players, none of them are playing the twist face. None of them. Tiger, nobody. Like Jason Day, they all have a different face than the twist face.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, I mean, I'm hitting it well right now, so can't say anything bad about
Let's see it. I don't think I'd say anything bad about any of your shots, man.
it.
You're a good player. I think there's sometimes where you get a little rusty,
Yeah.
you know, so like, you know, from a perspective of like, you know, what your potential is, obviously none of us always play to our full 100% potential. You know, 'cause you always feel like you leave one or two shots out there no matter
Yeah.
how good you played, but
Yeah.
yeah, I really think you're a quality player. Why can't all the holes be 300 yards long? Okay, let's look at this. Path 3.8 in out. Awesome. I like the face. Slide inside on the heel.
Yeah.
Low spinner, which usually works out pretty good.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially in the wind.
5.4 up, 13 launch. All this is really ideal.
Spin could be better, right?
Spin could be actually. It's rare that I see longer distance numbers than I do when it's like 1700.
Yeah.
At least from a perspective of what the foresight does.
Yeah.
A little any lower than that, and you're risking losing some control of the golf ball.
Yeah. I feel like my ball speed and club head speed could be
Yeah,
a little better.
that's interesting to me. Like, just in that ratio, like 144 is not a super high efficiency for a drive, especially for a player of your caliber. So we'll look at your ball speed, 154. I think we'll see that get a lot closer to 160, if not
Yeah.
easily in the 160s before maybe the next 10 swings or so.
Yeah.
You're going to find your peak ball speeds are going to happen probably 15 minutes into your practice session. So we'll let you hit a few and just continue to keep talking to me about what's going on. I mean, obviously that was a dead straight shot,
Yeah.
so outcome was good. Is that what you're going for? Was that
I mean, usually I hit a little draw, kind of like my irons. So
right?
if I pull, I feel like I push. It's like a little slight push draw.
Mhm.
Maybe.
On the green, 300. Man, you are consistent, dude. Look at that. You almost hit it in the exact same spot you hit the last one.
Yeah.
Same angle of attack, almost identical. 1 degree off on launch. 100 RPMs off on backspin. A little more from the inside.
Yeah.
The exact same efficiency.
A little
And
faster. club
0.2
head
miles
speed.
an hour faster on club head speed.
Yeah.
That's super consistent. Hey, if you can do nothing else but do that over and over and over,
Yeah.
you'd never miss a fairway.
No. No.
That wouldn't suck.
I think I like that. I mean, and like it's a little draw.
It was on the green.
Yeah. 300 yards on the green. That's not bad. All right. Let's see if I can get a little better. One here. And that one, That was real bad.
Wow, that's interesting. Base was actually open 4 or 5 degrees to the target.
And then I flipped it right at the last second.
Interesting. Closure rate at impact was 994 degrees per second.
Is that bad, right?
I don't even know. I'm going to be honest with you here. So look at your other closure rates, though. Because you said you felt like you flipped that one.
Yeah.
Your other ones were like 21 and 2300. And so the last one, at least from a perspective of what it's saying happened, so, and I don't know this to be a fact, because I'm still learning actually quite a lot about what's happening there, but take your grip. So what if, when you're flipping it, or what feels like, right, because feel and real are two different things. So when you're flipping it, what feels like flipping it is this,
Yeah.
right? But actual release, closure rate, degrees per second is that.
Yeah.
That could be why we're seeing the difference in those two numbers.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's, and I don't know that to be 100% fact, but just if we could learn a little bit about what we're feeling and what's really happening, that might be huge.
Yeah.
I just got the chills.
Let's see here.
Try it. Did you hang back on that?
Yeah.
Still hit a 300.
Yeah.
Just
I
a
tend to do
little.
that a lot. I tend to, and then I'm off balance. My
Mhm.
driver can be, inconsistent sometimes, but
Mhm. Let me see you set up again.
I feel like I
Might have a
definitely
piece of advice for you.
hanging back on it.
I may just have a couple little tricks in my sleeve for you here.
Let's see here.
Okay, so I don't know how you feel about this, but let's say like spine angle. Okay, so we got primary spine angle
Mhm.
is forward bend.
Yeah.
Okay, secondary spine angle side bend. So if you were to have just a tick, maybe 1 degree more side bend,
That's
tilting away from the target, yep. That might help you, because I think what's happening is like the feeling of hanging back is almost like you're creating side bend
Yeah.
during your swing. So create just a little bit of it there, and that way you don't feel like you need any more of it, right? If
Yeah.
anything, you're going the other direction.
Yeah. I want to get,
Right.
here and then feel like I'm turning through the ball.
Right.
Rather than tilting.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
'Cause I do
one
that a
other
lot.
thing I might recommend for the face of the club,
Mhm.
what if you were to open it up a hair? I mean, I don't think you have any fear of losing the ball out to the right, but that might give you a better feeling of kind of what we were talking about, releasing instead of flipping. Because now you can rotate the club face to
Yeah.
impact. You have a little more room there.
Yeah. That might
Yeah.
be good. Let me try it.
Which that's actually two things. So maybe I shouldn't have said both of those at the
Sorry.
same time, but I think they're going to work well together.
And I do that. I tend to do that sometimes.
Okay.
Like it's like a bad flip, and I've been hitting like high on the face.
Okay.
Maybe that was probably what 20 degrees up.
Angle of attack?
Yeah, 6.1 up.
Let's go look at it.
That's kind of a lot.
Did it say 6?
Yeah, 6.1.
That would be more than
That I just felt really uncomfortable over that
the
shot. And that's not
LPGA or the
because
PGA Tour average.
it's not
yes.
because what I was doing. It just felt uncomfortable.
Well, secondary spine angle does increase angle of attack often. So that is one tendency of that.
What
Yeah,
about
6'1" ups quite a lot, and it had no backspin on it. 73, 713.
what if I felt like my weight was more on my front?
Yes, I like it.
Because I feel like I can get through it. Because if once I get back here, I get stuck,
Mhm.
tilt,
Yeah,
and I do the little flip thing.
I like it.
And you just feel like my pressure's right up here.
Mhm.
That way when I turn, pressure's here, and I can really like drive through it.
I like it.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. I'm willing to try anything, to be honest with you. I like experimenting.
So get that front weight in front. Turn over. Alright.
And you can do secondary spine with weight on your lead foot.
Yeah. That was like low heel cut.
A little thin.
Yeah. Really just want to hit a good one.
Yeah.
The first one was decent. The first two were decent. That one.
Other than being
Yeah,
a
low
little
heel.
low and inside, I don't see a whole lot wrong with that.
No. One thing too, and this is, I guess,
Low spin.
yeah, hit high in the foot face.
Interesting.
Does that usually spin it more?
I usually, from what I usually see, when players hit it high in the face, they tend to spin it more, yeah. But I haven't had a lot of players with that FA driver yet, though.
Yeah, because it could be, the milk face might not be.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to reduce spin, right?
Yeah, well, that actually probably would be perfect because what happens to most guys when they hit it high on the face, they spin it like 3,000-4,000,
Yeah.
and it goes like 240 or 260. That one went 290.
And one thing too, I noticed that with my driver swing, I get a little like too bent over. I feel like I'm too like this when I need to be. Huh?
Nice and low there.
Yeah. So like, I feel like sometimes I need to stand taller because I get bent over like that and I just feel like below the ground.
Yeah.
But like if I'm standing a little taller and feeling like I'm bringing the club out here
Yeah.
and almost cutting it,
Right.
feeling like I'm cutting it because I usually flatten it out anyway.
Right.
So if I feel like I'm going like that, I'll hit them straight.
I got you.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me try.
And having your posture in a neutral, like forward bend,
Yeah.
really can allow you to turn properly. Whereas I find the most common issues are coming with that forward bend from people
Yeah.
having too much. It almost like you're getting in your own way when you get too much
Yeah.
forward
If I'm
bend.
up here, I feel
Yeah.
like I can
It's a lot
really
easier to
get
turn.
a good turn.
Yeah, and for you it probably gets you kind of like a little more upright. Whereas when you get flat, you probably get the hooks
Yeah.
real bad.
So let me feel like I'm standing a little taller.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe swinging out a little more than because if I get it inside, I'm stuck again.
Let's do it.
So just feel like I'm a little taller here. That one was real high in the face.
So I've been watching your alignment. I would say your tendency with
Yeah,
alignment
that's easy,
is
man.
slight open with your foot line and slide open with your shoulders.
Open.
Yeah, you have a slightly open stance.
So that means I'm like this, right? I need to be more
You don't have to change it, but it was one of the questions that we talked about early in the lesson, so I just wanted to kind of readdress it.
Yeah.
Um,
Alignment. Do you have an alignment stick?
Yep.
Let's put it down to where my feet can be. Maybe that'll help me get
what do you think of that?
adjusted. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Uh, feel like
Or do you want this maybe even like?
yeah, put it like up in here, yeah. That. Maybe a little more to your left. Or to your right, I guess, yeah. Right there. That's probably your next parallel with that. Alright. So. What's it look like?
Say foot line is 1 degree open. Okay.
Is it better?
A little fidgety, but yeah, you're good.
Alright. Go try something real quick.
Hard to draw. Put a little lock on that face.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you tagged that right in the heart of the glove right there.
I felt like I hit that probably the solidest out of all of them.
Okay. But it just
Right.
didn't launch.
Yeah.
And that it looks a little that way, like it just hasn't been launched. Your ball speed was the highest, 157.
So I'm just gonna move it up to 9.5.
That's smart. It's gonna make it a little more forgiving and give you a little more carry distance. In my opinion. That remains to be seen.
Yeah, I feel like I'm falling back on it. Like I'm.
To watch one from your face on here.
Usually don't struggle like this with my driver.
No, this is new. This is new. But the good news is, we've got a few drills that can help you with that feeling of falling back on it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like.
And I'll
I'm
give you a couple
getting
things to
here,
work
and
on.
I'm like rocking. And it's not feeling right.
I got a couple of easy,
So.
some good drills for you to work on.
That was just. I almost missed it.
Okay. So we'll give you 2 drills here. We'll trade spots. So first drill, basically we're gonna go up to the top of our swing, and I want you to just, it's okay, break your arm, just set the club right there, or set the shaft right on your shoulder there, and you're gonna just basically feel like you've turned your upper body, you turned your lower body, and then on the way down, I want you to really make sure you start with the lower body here.
Yeah.
That's the big part of this drill, right? So I'm not like teaching you to break your arm or anything in your swing. I just want you to feel like you're starting with the lower body. Lower body goes first, and then the upper body goes second. And the more you do this, you'll start to hear that sound, that whoosh sound, and you can get into like a full finish. It's a really comfortable feeling of just, I'm only moving from one side to the other. You know what I mean? So like sometimes it can be easy to get like a little bit of a hesitation.
Yeah. I
on the
I
way
feel
down.
like sometimes at my impact I'm like this
Mm-hmm.
through it, and my body's still like damn near square rather than, you know, look at Justin Thomas or whatever. I mean, he's like all the way through before he even gets to the ball. His hip is really just driving.
Right.
So, and I just feel like mine stays there all the way to like I turn up.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, so this can give you maybe a new feeling of really just unwinding that lower body and then the upper body coming through last. You want to try it a couple times?
Yeah. So, right there.
That's good. Yep. Yeah. Yours sounds so much better than mine. Nice. Yeah. Does it feel good?
Yeah.
It should feel good. It's a good balance challenge. It's good to work. It's good for speed, right? You're trying to work on release, and really more importantly than anything, it's a good transition drill because you want to transition your lower body first, and cognitively you can really think about it in your brain, saying, "Hey, let's really move the lower body first."
Yeah.
As opposed to the upper body. Now, the drill that's going to coincide with that drill, we can call this one the Hideki Matsui drill, which you pretty much know what it's going to be now. Go up to the top, backswing, stop, and what some guys will even do is, like you watch Padraig Harrington, he'll kind of pick this foot up, and he kind of steps on the ground to start his lower body, and then swing through.
Yeah.
And you can do full, you can do half, you can hit driver with it. Like I probably watched Padraig Harrington at Bay Hill for an hour just doing that drill. What he's working on is his transition.
Yeah.
Right? So like when you go to the top and stop, you know, you can really cognitively think about, you know, what do I want to start?
Getting that leg out of the way.
Exactly.
Get your body through. Alright.
Those are going to be your two practice drills that I want you to work on. So let's watch you maybe just do a couple today, and I'll do a little review on what we talked about earlier in the lesson. And you can do that drill, you can turn the club upside down the other way.
And swing it this way.
It's a great drill that you can work on even for players who are like 30 handicaps. That's a good drill right there too, all the way up to awesome players like yourself.
So let's see here. Alright, we'll hit one.
Okay.
That was like the worst one of them all. I'm hitting it real high in the club face.
Yeah, you are, and it's not spinning at all. That was 812 backspin on it.
Like, what's
Never
causing
seen that
me? What's causing me hit it so?
It could be your angle of attacking so far up.
Maybe sit down a little lower.
16.4 on club face on loft. I mean, this is. I'm a little confused right now. Not gonna lie to you.
So, I want to try something,
Yeah, I'm all for it.
and I don't know if this will help, but get it maybe a little more up in the front of my stance.
Okay.
Up there. That'll help me. Cause I feel like maybe
Did
I'm
we still
playing.
have that face tape on there? No. Okay.
Maybe I, you know what I mean. If I'm too far back, you know, my attack angle is going to be. Does that make sense or no?
Let's try it.
Let's-
No,
I just
I'm
wanna
willing
see
to try
I just
anything.
want to see if I play it up in my stance a little more,
I want to see it.
like about right here, maybe. Let's see. I just didn't release that one. But that was a better feeling
Okay.
shot that I had.
2100 back to ideal on backspin. Your angle of attack actually went up. I mean, well, it went more up.
Yeah.
you launched it higher, 14.6, and your carry yards went way up. Let's try that again. The last thing I expected to see was less spin when you launched the face a little higher and loft.
Yeah. I want to really release this one. And Matt is just
Hanging back and
hanging back and flipping it, I guess.
See it. 1200.
Huh.
Ball speed wasn't bad.
Well, I got some work to do with my driver. Because this is,
Right now, to me, it's looking a little rusty.
yeah,
You know, in terms of like, you know, the quality of your good shots are really good,
yeah,
and then you've got a few a few demons that are kind of coming out of the closets on you. And granted, you've really only hit a dozen drives, so I don't think that you're necessarily like
yeah,
totally warmed up with this club yet, per se. But let's talk. Let's just kind of revisit a little bit of what we talked about with mental imagery, visual imagery, motor imagery, and kind of transitioning some of the learning that we've done. As far as like when you first showed up with your irons, like I kind of felt that same kind of like you're a little jittery in your
Yeah.
setup, you weren't quite sure what your alignment was, you didn't have the mental picture that you
Yeah.
wanted, and you had a few, it wasn't like it is right now, but
no,
you had some sporadic stuff going on. See if you can gather yourself, you know, take it to the mental place, paint the picture, and maybe the next 4 or 5 shots, see if you can just kind of create a consistent miss hit.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, or
yeah, because that, I would rather block every shot
yeah,
a little bit
I agree.
than hit those big
I would agree with you.
snappers.
Me too.
So let me try to gather something here.
Okay.
Put something together. Let's get. All right. I mean, that was a heel cut.
Okay.
Hit that way off the heel. So, but I tried to do a little something, maybe stand a little closer,
Okay.
but maybe a little further away would help. I don't know. I'm gonna try something a little different here.
Okay.
That one felt the best. I feel like I hit that dead center,
Okay.
but it was a little high, I guess. It just felt good.
Best ball speed yet.
Yeah.
Best club head speed yet.
Yeah.
Keep going. 2 more.
All right.
Now try to picture yourself on the golf course here. And try to
I'll picture a hole and try to hit it.
hit the fairway.
Heel cut. Okay. So far, heel cut, snap up. I'd like to just hit one good. Alright.
That's pretty good stuff if you like about 310 down the middle. Best club head speed 110. You know, still for some reason we're not seeing the efficiency that
What should it be?
we want to see. I mean, I'd like to see you in the
1.35, or is it 1.5?
well, 1.5 is really good. That's you know, high fours would be anything over 4.7 would be awesome. 1.41, I'm pretty sure you probably get that with like I think you were getting that with your 6 iron probably. So
Alright.
let's not that we need to do that right now, but let's just say that would be something that we want to look at, you know, in the next weeks to come.
Yeah.
You know, we don't need, I don't think, to start anything new today, but it is nice to see. I mean, you just reached 110 on club head speed. You drove it 3, almost 10 down the middle. Backspin pretty good, launching pretty good. Doing a lot of things well there. You know, let's go out to the golf course, because one of the things I think can sometimes become a bad thing is we get in the studio and we get in the habit of like all of a sudden now we're playing golf swing
Yeah.
and we're not playing golf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you actually have to golf your ball in real life. You know, there's wind, elevation,
Yeah.
a lot of things change. So I don't want to get too much into this right now.
Yeah.
Also, in part because I think for you as a player, what I look at is I want you to have a few different ingredients in your recipe of success.
Mhm.
One of them might be lessons and like video and studio numbers, that kind of stuff. That's one small piece. That doesn't take the place of practice for you in your own right, by yourself, without anybody around, practicing.
Mhm.
And that's not going to take the place of playing golf,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
like, we don't want to overdo one, because then the recipe kind of gets a little out of whack and you see some funny things happening.
Yeah.
So let's say it's a pretty good point to stop today. And part of our review today is going to be basically the motor imagery, right? Like that is when you're kind of like rehearsing a feeling in your body, right? So like you can close your eyes and you can kind of rehearse the feeling of what it feels like to release the club, and you're kind of like letting your body know, hey, this is what I'm about to ask you to do
Yeah.
under pressure. And then the visual imagery, which was painting the picture, and I think you like that one a little bit better, where instead of focusing on what to do, you're focusing a little more on the outcome
Yeah.
of what you want to happen,
Yeah.
right? So I think you need to have a clear picture of, in your mind, what you want the end result to be in order for you to execute whatever it is that you need to do to get that
Yeah.
accomplished.
Mhm.
Let's build from here. Let's go our next lesson to the actual golf course itself, and let's try to like transfer some of this learning that we've done to actual playing
Yeah.
type
Mhm.
situations. So, do you have any questions right now? And anything you want
No,
to say?
I worked on, you gave me a few drills to work on, so
Yeah. Yep. Those.
I'd like to,
Yep. Thank you. Yep.
definitely
Those two
try
drills.
to,
The one hand drill.
yeah.
It's a great drill. I
Definitely
love
try
that drill. Do that in the mirror. You can really work on
Yeah.
hitting
getting
certain
it.
positions, and you get a lot of good feedback from that. And then the Hideki Matsui drill. I think you might actually
Yeah.
really like that drill, because what it's going to do is it's going to really make you a little more aware of your transition.
And I think maybe going slower too, like,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
slow and really feel the turn
Mm-hmm.
and then stop
Right.
and then really release it.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
slower, because I get real quick, taking
Right.
it back, throws me all off. So I need to really maybe even go like this with
There
the
you go.
wide end,
Yeah.
get real slow, get that turn,
I like it.
and then release.
I like that a lot. I like how you just made that drill your own. I really
Yeah.
do.
I can do it with this hand too, but just taking it back slow. Nice and
Both hands
slow,
are good. You're right.
Slow. Get here. 'Cause I get quick, and then lose control. So
Nice job for today.
thanks.
I'm gonna look forward to next week.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for your hard work, by the way.
Thank you.